Facebook has been a parrot. Hello.
Yeah. There'll be about a 5-second delay, but we are actually live now, so Facebook will get this about 5 seconds after us. So
right, there it is.
Facebook has been a parrot. So, right, sorry about that. We're just going to turn our phones down because we're watching this live whilst you are, so because we can then see who's actually talking and things, and we can answer live if you've got any questions. So first off, hello, I'm Shane from the GSI family, part of GSI West Yorkshire, and this is Neil.
Yes, hello guys, good afternoon. It's coming on about 3 o'clock in the afternoon in the UK. My name's Neil Cook. I'm the spirit medium for the GSI family, GSI North East and GSI West Yorkshire. The reason behind this live feed is we're setting up this new software on my home PC. Shane has kindly come along to set it all up for me, and this will allow me to do my live feeds with regards to the spiritual side of things here from my own home. For those who know me, I've recently just had an operation on my shoulder.
Rebecca's asking how you're doing.
I'm okay, Rebecca, thank you very much. I'm recovering well. I'll show you the bruises and the stitches later on, but a lot of my work's going to be from home due to the operation and some of the medication I'm taking. It's easier for me to work from home rather than do my spiritual stuff to an audience, which I was doing before. And you'll have to forgive me for licking my lips because I've got cotton mouth, and I'm one of these guys who keeps saying all the time, so you'll have to forgive me. That's because there's a cameraman sat with a camera shoved in my face.
Yeah. It's easier when it's face-to-face talking than when it is with an actual camera there. But hello Rebecca, looking forward to seeing you in a few weeks again for the event in Hull, and that leads me nicely into the actual event. So we are going to be going to the chocolate factory for anyone who's watching this live now, and also the people when this automatically uploads to Facebook afterwards. It's actually a working recording studio. I think there's a photo studio in it and all sorts now. It's an absolutely huge building, and it's one of the most active locations in the UK from what we've seen, and all the other groups what's been there in the past are all coming out pretty excited. I can't believe what's just happened, I can't believe it. So we're going to see for ourselves and hopefully take some of you guys along with us as well. And Neil knows quite a lot about the history of the place, don't you?
Well, actually I don't, because as a medium I don't like to be fed this information, because sometimes it affects some of my thoughts when I'm actually at the location. What I will say about this location is it's not just the building itself. What you have to remember is the land it's built on. This place was built on an ancient burial site which was connected to the plague. So when sometimes people say the location's haunted, it's not always from the build of the location, i.e. the people who may have been killed whilst building the mine or the property, whatever. It can actually be from the law of the land, and the land's been there a lot longer than what actually the buildings are. So sometimes the activity, residual energy and intelligent energy can be just from the land it's built on, really.
Yeah, brilliant. If anyone else is there other than Rebecca, because I can see there's a few people watching, if you just want to say your name, if you've got any questions or anything, we will give you a shout out. But one of the other things, if you can just look behind me and Neil, there's a cowboy actually sat on a horse, and that leads me nicely into another question I'd like to actually ask Neil about, which that's actually Neil's spirit guide, or it's a representation of Neil's spirit guide. When he was actually presented that picture, which his other half Vicky had painted for him, his spirit guide wasn't actually that impressed by the picture, but I think he quite likes it now from what I understand. But yeah, that's Neil's spirit guide. So do you want to talk a bit about Phil, your spirit guide?
Yeah, in all fairness, and with a little bit of humour with it, and I don't think Phil's too much impressed about Vicky, let alone the picture, but that's a different story. Phil is my spirit guide. We all have guides, we can all connect to guides. The more psychic and sensitive you are, then obviously the more you're in tune with your spiritual side and obviously your guides. Not only do we have a guide around us who are influencing our thoughts and our path in life, but we also have our immediate loved ones in spirit as well. And then the circle gets a little bit greater and greater to the people who are kind of in our protection, our firewall as of such. Phil is my spirit guide, just like Derek Okora has Sam, and there's always a past life connection. I genuinely believe I'm on my 7th path now, and obviously somewhere through my life paths we've worked together, we've been together, whether it's been a blood relative or someone who I've physically rode across the Texan prairies on horseback with him, or whatever else. I'm only early in my development with my spirit guide, although he works really well with me and vice versa. Our physical side of background information we haven't yet brought to the surface, the in-depth side of things, but we all, like I say, have a spirit guide. We all have someone who we can connect to. It's whether you're in tune with your spiritual things, and obviously you can connect to him. Me and Phil go back a long time. He came along just after the birth of my daughter, when I realised I was a man and not a boy anymore, and then I started working with spirit itself. The spiritual side of things, the psychic gift, the ability to see dead people as of such, has always been there, but it's something I wasn't in tune with or never developed any further until my daughter came along in life. And since then I've worked with spirit since the age of 25, and I'm 26 now. We're all developing mediums. There's no level of mediumship you can get to where that's it, you can't learn no more. And whether you've been doing it for 100 years or for 100 weeks, you're always developing. There's no level of achievement where you get your gold medal for that's it, you can't go any further now. And there's always something spirit will show you or tell you or teach you, which you never known before. And obviously this is your development side of things. But yeah, Phil's always there looking out for me. He's my firewall, he's my personal protection, and he looks after us on a spiritual level and on our paranormal journey in life with the GSI family as well. Few shout outs. I see Claire's watching or listening, whichever. Good evening, good afternoon, Claire. We're going to see you on the 27th of this month at the Chocolate Factory. Kaz Dunn is watching. Good afternoon, Kaz. It's another person who'd be nice to talk to, because she's just had this past regression afterlife thing, Karen has. I hope she doesn't mind me talking about it, where she goes into she was put under a hypnosis technique, and then obviously a past life was brought to the surface, just like something I'd like to do with my past life and Phil. Brad, you're watching. Good afternoon, Brad. I'm sure you're drinking a few beers right now, because every post I see you sat in your garden drinking away. Wendy Gray, good afternoon. Hope you're okay. Not many have joined us. Martin, an old work colleague of mine, and an avid Prince fan as well. Good afternoon, Martin. I hope you're at home having a few beers and not at work watching this.
Trishta Kinsey as well. Hello. And Claire, you've already said hello to Claire. We will be seeing you in a few weeks. Lives just round the corner from myself, and she's part of another paranormal group. I don't mind giving a shout out, because we do believe in paranormal unity. There's no competition. We've all got the same goal. So she's part of East Drive Paranormal, and linked in with the famous Poltergeist House, which I'm sure you saw on Most Haunted. I won't say any of my opinions on Most Haunted, because I know a few of the actual crew actually do like the GSI page, so that's all I'll say.
Yes, just to let you know, behind the camera is Vicky, one of our GSI members, and also Tara, who's Shane's wife. Unfortunately, Jan and Andrew can't be with us as of yet. Andrew's on holiday, so if you're watching, Andrew, hope you're enjoying yourself. Jan, I know you'll be watching this sometime. We're seeing you in a couple of hours' time at the restaurant, so we're looking forward to seeing you there. And we've got you some prezzies. Talking about prezzies, I'd just like to give a shout out to Stacey. She has a company called Tulip Embroidery, and she does all our promotional stuff, anything from your back to school t-shirts right down to your GSI logos on your t-shirt. And not only does she do the embroidery side, but she also does the label side as well, if you can see that. Yeah, there we are. Have I turned the right way? Yeah.
Yeah.
She also does the transfers and labels and everything else on your garments. So a big thank you to Stacey, and thank you for our promotional stuff. Shane's got his little promotional cup there. Also courtesy of Tulip Embroidery. Another thing she also does. That's so he doesn't forget his name. That's why it's got the word Shane on, and she's put left and right on his socks as well.
Yeah. For IRA as new sponsor, BMW, I'd like to thank them if they want to give us all a car each for those investigations.
Yep. And if you can get the GSI logo on the side, we don't mind driving around from the dealership with GSI written on the side of the vehicles. What else was I going to say? Also, question and answers. Has anyone got any questions for us? And we'll see if we can answer them. Anything paranormal, anything about forthcoming events or things we've done, or anything spiritual which I may be able to answer.
Feel free to share, Clive, that's absolutely fine. And have you already said something about Martin?
Yeah, I give him a shout out. Martin's an old work colleague of mine. We go back a long time. He's either at work now, sneaking a look on his phone, or he's sat at home with his wife Maz and his son, chilling out and having a good giggle at me, no doubt. What else was I going to say?
He's giving you a thumbs up.
He's giving me a thumbs up, thank you, Martin. Also, we're looking to do private investigations as well. Anything which you may have supernatural, paranormal or unexplainable in your own property. Look, I'm sat with my arms folded, how negative. Anything you have which you haven't got answers for, whether it's pictures or something going on at your home, then obviously give us a call. How cheesy is that? We're looking to do private investigations. Tara's pulling faces at me. So if you've got anything unexplainable you want us to look at or come and investigate for you, we're willing to do that as well. Obviously, if it's within our attachment, we're not looking to travel out to Australia just to investigate something, but something local within our jurisdiction, from the Teesside area right way down to the West Yorkshire area. We can come and see you. Our investigations are done in the strict of confidence. We don't post or promote any of these private investigations unless there's something of interest you are willing to share with the general public. That's Cassie whimpering in the background. She wants to get in on the video.
It's a dog, by the way, not a human.
Yeah. And on a spiritual side, with regards to these investigations, it may bring closure for you, because it may be like a loved one who's trying to get in touch with you. And what you have to remember, the word poltergeist is the Latin word of noisy spirit, and spirits who are trying to get in touch with you, if it's a close relative, loved one, then in order for them to get your attention, then they start making these noises, and the less you're paying attention, the louder they get, hence the word noisy spirit. Poltergeist. And not all spirits are negative. Australia, where are we there? Jodie Turner, good afternoon. I think you're 10 hours ahead of us, so it's almost midnight there, I guess. Good afternoon to Perth, good afternoon to Jodie. If my brother and sister-in-law are watching from Perth as well.
Question from Jodie: how many home jobs have you done?
A big hello to Terry and Mandy, who may be watching live now or later on in the morning. Home investigations on our YouTube channel. There's some good private investigation video footage and classic EVP, Class A spirit box sessions and EVP. Myself as a medium, working freelance myself quite a lot with GSI Northeast and Shane, then not enough, because not many people are wanting to come forward and bring these to our attention, and like I say, it can be done in the strict of confidence anyway. But we've gone into locations and either debunked what was going on within this person's home, or we brought something to the table and opened that person's eyes. We've never dealt with anything really negative. More so loved ones we've dealt with, people who passed over and they're trying to make that connection, whether it be an anniversary or something they need to bring to that person's attention. But we've done a fair few. They've always been interesting. We've always had good results with them. We have.
Yeah, we did a borderline negative one in the Elland area of Halifax. Me and Andrew and part of our old team. That since then they've moved out, but apparently the spirit has actually followed them to the new house. So we are lining up to go back and possibly do an investigation there at some point. But that's one of the second latest video. What's just been put up of the negative entity, which basically says it's going to knock me and Andrew out when we're setting up some equipment. That is probably the most negative I've dealt with. So when I was setting up the Connect sensor and everything down in the cellar, or the I don't know what you'd call that in America, because we've got quite a lot of American
basement.
Yeah, basement. Yeah. Down in that area, there was a growl right at the side of my head. But personally inside, yep, pretty scared. But when you don't really want to start screaming and running off and things like that, because then that's exactly what they probably want to do, hence the growling at your face. So once we weren't really showing things like that, we possibly felt it did actually go and try to scare my wife at home, because it wasn't getting its own way with us investigating the house. So that was a pretty eerie experience, but we'll probably go back and investigate at some point there. That's my most negative one. A little bit creepy.
Shout out to Susan and Debbie Davies who are tuning in and watching. With regards to negative things, what you have to remember on a spiritual level, and I'm not going to get too deep on this subject because it does go deep, but the majority of the people who connect to spirit or will deal with spirit will not deal with anything too dark or anything as negative as you see in the horror movies. And what you have to remember is the horror movies are spiced up just to get your attention. It's an impulse thing just to keep you watching the movie. But what you have to remember with spirit and what's passed over in the afterlife is you'll only ever connect with as a medium or use as a person, you'll only ever connect or experience what once walked on this earth. And what's the worst scenario of negative of what once walked on this earth? Is it your old neighbour who used to tell you off from kicking the ball at his fence, or kept sticking a knife in your ball because it went over there? I mean, what we deal with in life with regards to negative, i.e. another person being negative towards you, once they pass over in life, they're not going to be any worse than that. We're not talking about anything dark, demonic, where someone has to come into the house and do a blessing like that. Not normally anyway. Spirit is normally just something, the worst scenario negative is the grumpy old man kind of thing. And obviously when they're trying to get your attention and you're not paying attention, then obviously they can show that little bit more energy than normal.
What do you think about child and poltergeist link?
Well, children tend to, how can I put it, what's the word I'm looking for? What you normally find with children and teenagers, when it comes to the adolescent side of their lives, they're more likely to attract a spirit, whether it be poltergeist or something similar, because of their emotions in life. And most case notes and things which have come to the media attention is always been around the young child, the young female. When my daughter was getting to this point in life, she experienced a spirit being around her, which we then later found out it was a spirit guide, and she was aware of this, she sensed this, and obviously it was at that time in life where obviously spirit was getting closer to her, obviously to look after her in this case. But yeah, children, young girls, young boys will get that attention from spirit. Yeah.
We had one from Jodie, the lady from Perth. Do you use your sensitivities to assist the investigations, and I suppose use the evidence to back up your claims? And then there's another question about you go
Yep.
from that one first.
As a medium, when we go into a location, if I can go there blind with no knowledge of the history of the location and the actual place itself, then it's more beneficial for me, because the more you know about something, it can influence your thought. The little gaps which spirit don't give you in a message, you may automatically fill in with your knowledge of that location. So it's good to go there absolutely blind, not knowing where you're going if it's possible, and any history. Some of our investigators, Jan, she'll do the research on the location and then answer the information I bring to the table. It's good for a medium to be part of a paranormal group, because when your guests get there, you're basically telling them that you're looking for paranormal, and you're going to walk around this location looking to find evidence of the afterlife. If there's a medium there, then obviously he can bring this to the table at the beginning of the session, and maybe point out all the hotspots where he's picking up, or he and she are picking up on the sensitive areas where residual or intelligent energy is, and then use guys as a paranormal guys can then do that walk around, knowing that this corner of the building or that corner of the corridor has sensitive or activity there, should I say.
Kind of the hotspot.
The hotspot, yeah, that's what I'm looking for. So yes, it does help sometimes. Sometimes it can influence your thought as well.
Yeah, definitely. If you watch on the GSA West Yorkshire page, the first two videos, Doncaster Part 1 and Doncaster Part 2, you will see this actually work, because we had the Connect sensor set up. A little child come on it, but to me and Andrew and the non-mediums, we just see a child. But then Neil stood at the side of us. He was actually a guest on this one because it was part of the old team, but he stood at the side of us and actually connected to the spirit. He found out it was a little girl called Shirley.
Yes.
But then, because Andrew's got the digital recorder listening live through his headphones, when Neil's asking, "Is that your name, Shirley?" Andrew actually heard live the EVP being recorded saying yes. So then we had an instant confirmation that Neil, that was the first ever time we saw Neil, and at that point we got goosebumps and like, whoa. That is unbelievable. So he basically, connecting with the spirit, we've actually recorded the EVP of the spirit answering him back, and then what we believe to be her father coming and taking her away. And at the point when that happened, the child disappeared off of Connect. So if you watch back the original videos, that's where we've actually used Neil's gift with the technology at the same time, and it's been pretty cool video, to be honest.
How will they find that link? Where is it?
It's uploaded to the Facebook videos as well as YouTube videos. It's right at the beginning. Doncaster Air Museum Part 1 and Doncaster Air Museum Part 2. Part 1's the Connect. Part 2 is where we've got the EVPs, and we also have an EVP of the little girl Shirley. She was singing.
Yeah,
she was singing at the end of the corridor. Yeah, like, la 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 la, like. We all heard it with his ears, commented on it, but then when we listened back, even my best friend Jason, who's a massive skeptic, when he listened to that back, he was mind blown. So it's pretty cool. Then there's a second question from Susan.
Susan Rolfe, hello there, good afternoon Susan. Get off your phone, you're at work.
No, she said she's just got back from work.
Oh, she's just got back from work, do apologise. Can I just say a big hello to Izzy, if she's watching as well, your daughter.
Right, should I read the question out?
Yep.
Have you had many spirits that try to hide their true self? This is a perfect one from when we went to the old barn conversion.
Yes.
And a little girl came, well, at first we thought it was a little girl, Emily, and it came out that it wasn't a little girl at all. It was
that negative gentleman.
It was a very negative gentleman that came through, wasn't it, in the end?
Yep. What you have to remember is spirit can come back in visitation and show itself at different points in its life. So let's say this spirit had lived to a grand old age of 99, then there's no reason why spirit can't come back and show themselves as a youth, as a teenager, or even a middle-aged person. And spirit normally connects in and out of our ether to a specific point in time, whether there was a special connection in that time zone, in that period. Sometimes when I'm giving a message out as a medium, and someone says, yeah, but they didn't look like that then, and I'm saying this is the point, they're showing all the love to. This is the part they're coming back to show this poignant part in what they're trying to say to you. So yes, spirit can come back and forth, showing itself in different times. I can remember giving a personal reading out to a friend of mine, Peter Turner, and this child was showing himself as being 5 years of age. However, the child had passed at a different time in its life, but obviously children still grow in the spirit world, so he was showing himself. What's that? So obviously the child was showing itself at a different time. So spirit will come back and forth and show itself in different times of their life when they were here on the earth plane. And then the negatives kind of spirit can come back and play tricks with you and show itself as either a different sex or obviously try and mislead you with the information they're trying to give you. Yes, that's right. Yeah.
If anyone else has got a question, if not, we'll probably look to wrap it up now. And just a reminder, if you're interested in coming and investigating with the GSI family, which is GSI West Yorkshire, GSI North East, we are in Hull on the 27th of August, which is a couple of weeks. It's a bank holiday weekend, so you don't have to worry about having well, it won't be a hangover the day after, because the only spirit you'll be connecting with hopefully will be
spiritual hangover.
Yeah, it'll be spiritual hangover, not the whiskey spirit. And but it's on the 27th of August in Hull, and it's the Chocolate Factory, and it's £30 per person to get in. It'll be from 9 PM until 2 AM, I believe, isn't it? Yeah.
Yes, that's right. Only 5 hours, that's enough. Tea, coffee, refreshments, finger food will be provided along with a great night. Remember, we're going to search for the paranormal, and use guys can be part of this.
There's another question.
Yep.
Just before we go, Kez Dunn. I remember being scratched by a spirit in James Cook Museum ghost hunt. Have you ever come across this in any of your investigations?
These guys have.
Me and my wife Tara, we witnessed another guest. We were guests at the time, and if Claire's still watching, she was there on the night as well. It was in East Drive, 30 East Drive, which is about 5 minutes away from where me and Tara live. We were in the famous poltergeist house in Pontefract, West Yorkshire. Someone's talking to us, and literally, he got a scratch down his neck appear there and then in front of our eyes, and I was still a bit unsure at that point. I was stood in front of him, Tara was stood behind him, and he stood here like this, and the scratch appeared, and from that point onwards, that's when I 100% was certain, yep, there's definitely spirits in this world, and that one's not a very nice one.
No, no.
And yeah, so we've witnessed it there and then, not personally on ourselves or anything like that, but just on that guy that night, probably about 5 times. It didn't very like him very much. So, yeah. So.
Good. What else? Keep watching out for the live feeds, guys. Am I pointing in the right direction there?
See the white dot on the laptop screen.
Yeah. You can follow us live on here. We're going to do some more live feeds throughout the month and forthcoming as well. We're looking to do a live feed investigation from Hull, so you too can be part of that if you come and join us. I'm saying we're looking to do it. This is if the Wi-Fi connection within this location allows us to do it, because obviously because of the building, we won't be able to get a good connection with our 4G, so we're looking to use the building's Wi-Fi in order to do that.
Yeah, it will be using night vision and also a Connect One sensor, so it's not just the camera. You will actually see, even if we're not there in front of the camera, it can actually pick up on spirits, and it will add them. If you've seen some of our previous videos, it will add a skeletal form to where the spirit is actually hit there, so you might actually see something what we don't see, and then you can message us, we can review this footage, and thanks to you we'll be able to put that up as well as evidence, so it will be pretty cool. hopefully, if
Yeah.
you've got the Wi-Fi.
You've just answered what I was going to say next. You guys, if you can't be with us, if it's unfortunate you can't be there, you can sit in your front room. If there's nothing on TV, you tune into this live feed on the night, and then you can be our eyes and ears, and sit there whilst drinking your cocoa and your hobnobs. You can watch the live feed, and anything which is unexplainable or you think may be paranormal, you can actually comment on the post. We'll pick that up, and then we can go back and pay some interest in that area as well. So yeah, that would be good for you to join us as an audience at home if you can't be there with us. That would be great. Yeah.
And Wendy Crow Spirit Grey says thank you. But thank you as well for watching. I would be just talking to himself if you were actually watching, so thank you.
Which we do anyway. Yeah.
Well, yeah.
But yeah, everyone who's tuned in and everyone who may view this after it's been live, thank you for watching anyway. You can still leave your comments in the post. We'll pick them up shortly. If you want to follow us, we're on GSI West Yorkshire, GSI North East. We're one communal family, but there's 2 separate pages at this moment in time. Or you can follow myself as Spirit Medium Neil Cook on Facebook. And again, any inboxes you want to send us, any information, any photos, we can review. Myself, I can look at them spiritually. If it's a private investigation, then we can look at coming to see you sometime, and obviously see if we can answer your questions for you. Anything else, guys? No. Well, thank you for tuning in, guys, and enjoy the rest of your day. If you're in another part of the world, good morning. If you're from UK, good afternoon. Yeah, that's it. Thank you very much,
Enjoy
guys.
your weekend. Thank you.
Thank you for tuning in. Bye bye.